Good afternoon. Let's start over. Good afternoon. Welcome to Bearbackers. Last Bearbackers for the school year. I think we've had a few with perfect attendance this year, so raise your hand. Let's acknowledge all of our perfect attendance people from Bearbackers this year. Well done. Yep. Great job. Thank you. Thank you for being here. We'll start off with beach volleyball. So far this season, the Beach Bears are 4-11. This coming weekend, they will have their only home tournament with 2 matches on Friday and 2 matches on Saturday. So get over to the sand courts and see these young ladies compete with Mary Hardin Baylor, UT Martin, and Southwest Baptist. The match with Southwest Baptist on Saturday at 3 p.m. will be our senior day match. After our home tournament, the Beach Bears will have 2 more events before heading to the A-Sun Championship in Huntsville, Alabama. That'll be played on April 22nd through 24th. Men's golf. Bears had a couple of weeks off from competition, but we'll head over to Memphis on March 30th and 31st, and then up to Columbia, Missouri on April 6th and 7th to wrap up their regular season. The Bears will then head to Valdosta, Georgia on April 21st through 23rd to go for 2 A-Sun championships in a row. Moving on to women's golf. Last time out, the Bears were down in Puerto Rico at the Iguana Invitational. The Bears finished in second place, with 3 Bears finishing in the top 10, and Althea Paige Gasson winning the event. Althea was tied for first place, so they went to a playoff. On the first playoff hole, she stuck it within 2 feet on her second shot to birdie the hole and win the individual title. Althea, her title earned her A-Sun Women's Golfer of the Week. Yeah, we can clap. The Bears are currently in Mobile, Alabama, competing in the Magnolia Collegiate. After this event, the Bears will have 1 more in Monroe, Louisiana, before heading down to the A-Sun Championship in Dothan, Alabama on April 17th through 19th. Men's and women's track and field have started their outdoor season. They will compete in 8 events over the next couple of months before they head down to the A-Sun Championships in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm assuming that they will have a great chance for another A-Sun Championship at that event based on what they did at the Indoor Championships a couple weeks ago. Based on those results at the A-Sun Championships, they'll have an opportunity to compete in the NCAA Regional and in the championships at the end of May and at the beginning of June. Looking forward to seeing what the track teams can do here at the end of the spring season. Stunt. Stunt went 2-2. Their last event, which took place in Austin, Texas, on the first weekend of March, moving their overall record to 4-8 this season. This coming weekend, they will head over to Nashville for competition on Friday and Saturday. The Bears have 2 events left before they compete in the Mid-America West Conference Tournament to end the season in Martin, Tennessee, April 10th and 12th. Now, for the first time, let's hear from head coach Chloe Moxley.
Hey, can you guys hear me? Yes? Okay. So, for all of you guys that don't know me, I'm Chloe Moxley. I just took over the program this year, and I knew coming in it was going to be a rebuilding and kind of a rebranding year, just based off of the past 2 years with Stunt here. I wasn't really sure what to expect, but honestly, my expectations have been just exceeded. Last year, for those of you guys who don't know, Stunt works with routines that are given to us. So there's 8 stunt routines, 8 tumbling routines, 8 pyramid routines, 1 through 8. 1 is the easiest, 8 is the hardest. Last year, this team was really like 1 through 4, lower level. And I wasn't really sure how far up we were going to be able to get, but we've been pushing up to level 7 already. So it's been really good. We're one of 4 Division I teams in the nation to have an unmodified Stunt 7, so that's been really cool. And we had a couple historic moments this past weekend. We competed Pyramid 6 for the first time and Pyramid 7 for the first time in program history, so that was really awesome. We, as he had mentioned, we have 2 regular season tournaments left. We play a couple people in our conference, Mercyhurst, NKU, CBU, and University of Kentucky, and then we go to conference. This is the last year that USH here is running our postseason, So for any of y'all who don't know, NCAA is taking over. We just hit championship status, which is really awesome for our sport and the growth in it. So it's unclear what that's really going to look like after, but I'm excited to see. So yeah, any questions? Yeah.
Will you schedule something at home next year?
Yeah, I want to. We had a showcase this year, but I want to do a home tournament this next year. Good. Thank you.
Softball, the Bears are 19-10 on the season. They started ASUN play this past weekend at North Alabama. The Bears went 1-2. All 3 games were close contests decided by 1 or 2 runs. Bears will head up to Fayetteville tomorrow to face the Hogs, and then over to Nashville for an ASUN series with Lipscomb this weekend. Then the following week, the Bears will be at home with the Hogs on Tuesday, and then have their ASUN home opening series with Austin Peay. Now let's hear from head coach Kayla Lucas.
All right, so since I last saw you, we went on a pretty good roll, six-game win streak. Tulsa, UT Chattanooga twice, and then beat ULM 3 times. Most of those games were at home. 5 of the 6 were at home. So feeling good going into conference, right? As a coach, though, going into a hostile environment on a winning streak, you're a little nervous. We got some bad news on Tuesday. Pitcher is injured, probably going to be out 3, 5, 6 weeks, don't know, just depending on healing time there. So then we were rolling, like on the mound. I felt like that was probably the biggest stride we had taken, right? We got a lot of young kids on the mound, and you got Bailey, who's a senior on the mound, that's been kind of leading the charge. But Jaylee White and Emery have really taken the reins and, kind of cleaned up game 2 or started game 2, and then same thing in game 3, started game 3 or cleaned up game 3. And so going into a 3-game series with North Alabama, down a soldier that probably is your game 3 starter, okay? And so having to maneuver that, North Alabama is a good team. Don't get me wrong. They are very good. They had, I think, a 348 team batting average, us going into there. So we knew we were probably going to have to match energy with them offensively. Game 1, we come out and just obliterate the softball, right? We put a 5-run spot on them in the first inning and never made adjustments after that, right? That was the only runs we scored, and they kind of chipped away, and found a way to beat us at the end, okay? Second game, same thing. We scored first, come out hot, and then didn't make adjustments. Just kind of struggled. We struggled more on the mound, I would say, than in the box. You score 5 runs with Bailey runner on the mound, I'm going to cash that check every single day. And unfortunately, we had a couple miscues in the outfield that, cost us a couple runs. But again, the conversation prior to that game, or that day, we had to play a doubleheader. The first game was controlling your emotions, right? Anybody that knows that rivalry, it is hostile. It is an emotional kind of roller coaster with them. They always play us tight. It kind of always means a little bit more when you play them. I don't know how that rivalry started, but it's emotional, right? And they'll click buttons that other people really haven't clicked for us before. So on the mound, we came out in early innings, and they were really amped up. Adrenaline was high. They were throwing hard. Bailey was, 67, 68 in the first few innings, and then adrenaline wore off. Belo got down, and they were able to hit it, right? Same thing with Emery Bowen. First inning. God, man, she was upwards of 68, which is the hardest that she's thrown all year. So if that tells you anything about the environment and just, again, going into conference play too and what it means, she was amped up and then got really tired at the end, right? And we're down a pitcher, so you're having to push them a little bit further maybe than we have in the past. We would have probably gotten her out a little bit sooner, but as a freshman, it's the furthest she's thrown. It's the first extra inning game that she's been involved in, and she got walked off on. And if you were there in that environment and you saw the look on her face, like, I'm excited to see what she does to them the next time she goes out, because she's one of those kids. Same thing with Bailey. She's taken on the same personality of just a bulldog on the mound. And she took a tough loss, but like I told her, you'll learn from it, you'll grow from it, and that's, she came out on Sunday. She was going to be the third arm in relief there, but she was amped up, like she was mad. She was frustrated, felt like she let us down, but again, we didn't play well. On Saturday, did not play well at all, and you get walked off both games. So if that tells you, who we can be and how far we've come, and that was the message on Sunday to salvage the series, right? Everyone on our side of the conference took a loss except North Alabama on day one. So if we can come out, give them a loss, get us back in the mix, even the playing field, feel like we put us in a good spot to when they come to us later in the year. If we can sweep them at home, kind of get a little bit of revenge there, we'll be okay. But again, just not getting swept was the biggest message. Everyone was a little frustrated, right? We're better than that. You didn't play well, you get walked off. But if everybody's as frustrated and kind of a little grumpy from losing, we'll be all right. And you come out and set the table in the first inning again. We scored. And we scored first in every single game. The difference was with runners in scoring position. This stat is going to make everyone in the room throw up. On day one, we were 3 for 20 in 2 games with runners in scoring position. So tough. Past the first inning of the first game, 3 for 20 with runners in scoring position. So that's the tale of that story there, And so, again, we hit the ball pretty well. We hit the ball definitely well enough to win. But, again, I think for them, some of our young kids didn't realize the magnitude of what conference play brings to the table, right? It's a different ball game. Nobody really cares what you did before. It's what you're going to do now. And, how we've done in this conference for the last, 4 or 5 years, we got a lot of enemies, right? And so the young kids needing to understand that you can't take plays off. You can't take situations off. And so we'll learn from that and bounce back. The scheduler should be fired. We come off of North Alabama, and now we got to go to Arkansas, who is – it's a David versus Goliath. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it, right? Their team batting average is 360. They got 50 home runs as a team. Their pitcher that we think we're going to see is averaging 12 strikeouts a game. So it's not going to be easy, but nothing at this level is easy. And again, they're a good group. They're feisty, they're hungry, and that's all you can ask for. And the biggest shout out I want to give is to Renee Christian on the weekend. An absolute dynamite weekend. She accounted for 9 of our 18 runs, I believe, something like that. And so just huge. A kid that freshman year was on the all-conference team. Last year battled a lot of adversity, wasn't in the lineup. And then again, starting this year, wasn't in the lineup and battled her way and fought her way. And she's batting .434 and is lead off in this lineup and just has been absolutely huge for our success. So I'm going to give her a shout out. I don't know that she watches this, but if she does, at least she can get a little bit of love there. Because, again, she doesn't get the credit she deserves. Everybody wants to see home runs in our game today, and she's a little slapper that, runs a 2.6 to first base, and she's very, doesn't get the love that she deserves. She sets the tone, right? She gets the first at bat in every single game. So she's the one that gets the information first, and she has to pass it along and kind of give everybody a breath. And when your leadoff batter is on that much, it kind of gives everybody the ability to settle down and know we're going to be okay. So that role for her and for our team is really, really big. What questions we got? Gene?
I agree with Renee. I thought the discussion on TV was positive for her. I am curious how far that shot was from Emmett.
Yeah, so they have a fence on the outside of the facility, like that borders the facility, right? It's all fenced in. That fence is at 300 feet, and it hit that fence. So it was absolutely obliterated. That ball was, she smacked it. So, but her and Renee all weekend, those two alone saw more pitches than the entire lineup combined. So that is, again, why they were so successful. They both had really big weekends, and it was just seeing pitches, fouling off. Emma, that at-bat had almost 12 pitches. Fouling off, found one that leaked middle, and, buddy, she didn't miss it. So, and she had 2 big shots like that on the weekend. Yeah, 300 feet is crazy. Yeah.
I agree that you're still in good shape.
Yeah, they'll be at the top. They are very good. They returned Every player that was in the lineup except one was a returner. So they're very veteran, got a lot of seniors in the lineup. Their entire pitching staff are seniors, so we'll be okay. They'll finish at the top, and we gotta at least take 2 from them when they come to us, get a little bit of revenge, get us back in it. So, anybody else? Thank you.
Baseball. Bears are 11-9 on the season. They started ASUN play this past weekend at EKU, going 1-2. The first 2 games on Friday and Saturday saw lots of runs scored, and then yesterday the Bears and Colonels battled to a 1-run game. The Bears will head down to Louisiana Tech tomorrow to face the Bulldogs, and then have their ASUN home opening series with Bellarmine on the weekend. Next week the Bears will head to Fayetteville to face the Hogs on next Tuesday before returning home for a matchup with Austin Peay at Bears Stadium. Let's hear from head coach Nick Harlan.
Hey, good. It's good to be here. I was just telling somebody that we got in about 4 a.m., and there's nothing better than pulling into Conway, Arkansas. We love coming home. So it's good to be here. Got up this morning about 7, took the kids to school. My son was frustrated with me because I didn't understand his question that he was asking me. He's 7. I said, Walker, you're going to have to be patient with me this morning. And my daughter looked at me, who's 9 years old, and she said, Dad, we're going to give you some grace today. And I said, that's great. I could use it. Hey, it was good. So it was a good start to the day. But it's been a few weeks. I know this, and I think I can speak for everybody. It is a really good time to be a Bear. Outstanding time to be a Bear. All across the athletic department, I just think there's so many positive things going on, and I know that I'm very thankful to be a part of it. So great things going on right now. Thankful for the coaches here and the leadership. Start of the season, kind of catch you up. A little good, a little bad, and a little ugly. We've kind of seen it all. Won a couple series, lost a couple series, split a series, beat a really good Vanderbilt team who just beat LSU 2 out of 3. Beat Oral Roberts last week on Tuesday. That 2 years ago they're in the College World Series, and we beat those guys in a close 1-run game late at home. Great crowds. I think it's been really good. We need to improve. This last weekend we were on the road at Eastern Kentucky. I'm throwing batting practice, and Coach Davenport comes up to me and says, hey, our starting pitcher, our Friday night guy's got a little soreness in his flexor tendon. What do you want to do? So I step off the platform and walk over, and I make the decision. He probably would have pitched through it, but I made the decision to not start him an hour before the first pitch. We started J.B. Williams. It was a no-brainer. J.B. Williams is a junior college kid from Mississippi that has started a few games for us. The reason why I chose him, one, he was available. He had some experience, but he is a guy that does not make any excuses. Like if his routine is disrupted, it does not matter to him. He is a stud in terms of his mental makeup. So we gave the ball to JB. I think he did a fine job. Wasn't perfect, but he did a fine job, gave us a chance to win, and we won on Friday. So I was really proud of our team. We kind of overcame a little bit of adversity. Saturday, we did not play very well. We gave up too many free bases. I thought we did enough offensively to win, but we gave up too many free bases, which has been uncharacteristic of us. I think our pitching has been pretty good late in the start of the season. And then Sunday, we had a good start. Challenged the pitching staff, said we needed someone to lead us. Pat Fernandez, who has been pitching really well, he's a right-handed pitcher from California, threw a really good game, got us into the 7th inning. We had a 5-2 lead with there was runners on first and second, no outs. I brought in Hunter Alexander, who, if you've been following our program, Hunter Alexander, in my opinion, is one of the best closers in the country. He came in, and a guy got off one good swing. And Hunter didn't have probably his best stuff, He had to throw 45 pitches on Friday night, so he probably wasn't quite as sharp. They got off one good swing, and they ended up beating us 6-5. That was tough. But I told Coach Shulman this. I believe, and I told our team this, if we win that game and Hunter saves the game, it would have been easy to be content with the performance yesterday. And I think that as coaches sometimes and players, of course, we have a tendency to push a few things under the rug when you win. And for me on the way home with that 10-hour drive home, the light bulb went on for 2 or 3 things that's going to make us better. And when that light bulb goes on for me, that light switch goes up, it's a good thing. Because when I'm not festering about a problem, but I'm problem solving, I'm in the very best version of myself. The very best version of myself. And so on the way home, instead of being upset about a 1-run loss, I was excited about the opportunity to get better this week. There's a few things we've identified. Watched the entire game on the way home, pitch for pitch, and identified a few things that I think will help us in 1-run games. And I am excited. The team is excited, and we're ready to attack this week. And I think it's going to be an outstanding week. We play Louisiana Tech tomorrow, so we're back on the road. It's a really good team. Lane Burroughs is the head coach there. I've coached against him for a long time. He was at Northwestern State in the Southland Conference. He's tough. He's intense. His players take on that personality. They're very detailed. It's going to be a great challenge. And then we're back home this weekend against Bellarmine for another conference series. So really excited about that. Got a quick injury update. Casey Shipley has a broken thumb. He should be back hopefully in about 3 weeks. Casey Shipley will add a lot to our team. Sam Reynolds had a hamate, broke his hamate bone. He should be back in 2 weeks. Denver went to the doctor today, our Friday night arm, Denver, and we should find out what's going on with his forearm. We don't know for sure. Sounds like it could be just some inflammation, so we're hoping to get him back. And a few other guys that will get back this week. So we're excited about that as we move forward. Highlight a couple guys. Hunter Alexander has been one of the top pitchers in the country. And I believe if he continues to trend this way, he's going to have a chance to play baseball for a long, long time. And Zeb Allen is a blessing to our program and a blessing to my family. I can just tell you that. He is high character, extremely talented, tough, great leader, and Zeb Allen adds tremendous value to this university and this program, and I'm so thankful for him. But those guys are great leaders. We have tremendous leaders, and I'm thankful to be the coach at UCA. So anybody have any questions about anything? Yes, ma'am.
Not a question, but a comment about Zeb. He is also one of our co-presidents for SAC. He is phenomenal. Great kid to work with.
Outstanding. Yeah, he's a good one. He's a good one. Thank you for saying that.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
So you're watching, like when you watch baseball clipped up, like I'm not talking about rewinding and watching the play again. Like our game's 40 minutes long. Like how much pitch, how much baseball is in there?
Well, they cut out all the fluff. It probably took me last night about an hour to really break it down for a full game. But when you cut out in between pitches and pickoffs and some of those things, you can buzz through it.
Is it like similar to basketball? It's like 40 minutes of actual bang, we're playing and it's running around?
Yeah, I would say a little bit more than that. You know, it's a little bit longer than that. You have to have a pretty good attention span, and you have to like the game of baseball. Yeah, you have pretty good attention span. Yeah, you gotta like baseball. You know, but there's nothing else that I'd rather be doing than watching that or being with my family. That's about all I got. So. Anybody else? We good? Rock and roll, thanks.
Women's basketball. The Sugar Bears ended their season in the semifinals of the A-Sun Championship, losing to the eventual champions Jacksonville University Sugar Bears had an outstanding season, winning 11 of their last 11 games, winning 10 of their last 11 games, and going 21-11 overall, which is their third 21-plus win season in a row. They ended up 13-5 in the ASUN. Let's hear from head coach Tony Kemper to wrap up the season and look ahead.
Yeah, so I guess just kind of putting a bow on the season. I think, I'm really going to miss this team. We've got a lot of really good people in our program. Coach Nick's talking about his guys. I feel the same way about a lot of the ones that are leaving us. Bree Stevens, what a human being. It starts with that. Just her stability day in and day out. Never gets too high, never gets too low. Performs in the classroom, performs on the floor. She's a great. She attracts other good players. I've got a lot of people in our locker room that are that way. Like they help me bring people in that can continue the winning. Shay Littleford, very similar. Caden Beckwith, who graduated early from Conway, she's going to go try to find a place where she plays more, which I'm totally supportive of that. She's been a great member of our program. And then we got Juliana Gibson for 1 year, who will come back next year to complete her degree. But all of them are really high character and very consistent. And so as you try to carry on, 3 years in a row of over 20 plus wins, hard to do at this level of basketball. The longer I've been here, the harder scheduling is. Our pre-conference schedule was very difficult. I told them when they first got here in the summer, it's as bad as it could be. We never play at home, and you're pretty much constantly playing really good teams. And so the longer that you do well and win, the harder it is to win 20. You've got to do really good in the ASUN against your peers. This is another group that did that this year. Just wrote down a couple things that I'm proud of. I think the first thing is a new cycle. We retained a lot of really good players, and we found quite a few good players in year one that got us to a really good level, knocked on the door of winning a title, didn't get it done. Year two, retained them all, which is difficult. That's hard to do. People like Bree and the people in the locker room, like I said, they attract each other. They want to work with each other. So it becomes not as much about all the noise that you hear, that it is part of our game now. But if you have the right people in there, you do have a chance to retain the right players. So we retained a lot. We knocked on the door again. All right. Then this year's basically a new team. We did bring back Bree. We brought back, Cheyenne Kemp, who ended up second team all conference. But I thought she was going to be pretty good. She outperformed probably. I don't know where you throw a dart and think she's going to be. She had a really good year. Very solid at the end of the year. Just super consistent with 13 to 20 points, a lot of rebounds, good defensive player. But that was kind of it in terms of who had played. So new cycle, can we figure out how to knock on the door again? And they did, And so I think that's the number one thing that I'm proud of with this group is figure out how to compete again for it. I think as we move into the next phase, it's like how do we get through the door? I think, and Coach Shulman will probably echo this. I think a huge challenge in everybody's sport, like you got to get there, and sometimes it's easy and you walk right through right away. Sometimes it takes a long time, but it's super hard to actually win it, to win the one you've got to win when it comes down to you got to play like 3 one-game series and you got to play well 3 times in a row. But they put us back in the conversation having a chance to do that. So as a group with the new team, super proud of that. This year's team, we had the best net we've had. We were 105. We were the best net in the league, all right? Third straight 20-plus win season. Over that period, we've had 6 different players all conference. So we've had a lot of turnover in terms of the people that are helping us win. That's got to continue. That's got to continue. This team was the best defensive team in the ASUN. We were number 1 in points given up, which we're 26th in the nation in that. I think a more important stat is defensive field goal percentage. If you can get people to miss, and then you're a good rebounding team, that's probably, if you look at points per game, I can play super slow, and you'll have low points per game. But defensive field goal percentage, that means you're getting people to miss. And we were first in the league in that. We were 9th in the country. So top 10 defense in the country in terms of defensive field goal percentage. There was a point in the season where I talked to him about your path to winning it all is through defense, rebounding, and those kind of things. And this team really did a great job of flipping a switch and becoming that team. So very appreciative of their buy-in. That's the leadership thing. That's Bree, Shay, Juliana, that senior class, super solid in their role, and didn't waver in trying to figure out how to make this team a winner. So proud of what they got done, and we're all frustrated that we didn't get done what we were actually trying to do. So hungry team in the future. I think the ones that are leaving, leave that in the locker room as well. Like, go figure out how to get it done, And so in a healthy place, you kind of shift to the new calendar year right now. Recruiting is picked up. It's not super crazy right now. I think retention is very important right now. So you're really working on your own team. I think good place on that. Need to finish it off well. Kind of doing meetings last week, this week, about the year and trying to completely pin all that stuff down. And then, it's our portal opens right after the Final Four, which is maybe the 6th of the official portal date might be April 6th, maybe. And then it'll get busy. We probably are going to sign 2 minimum, maybe 3, depending on if we think they're the right fits to have here. So got to get 2, could possibly go to 3. So appreciate your support all year. I said when I first stood up here many years ago now that this is a good place to play women's basketball and coach women's basketball. That's true. When you win here, people show up to games. It's a good atmosphere to play in. I appreciate that. I think our players appreciate that too. There's a lot of people sitting up here that work really hard, put in a lot of the hours that we put in to help make the product what it is. And so I appreciate their work on that stuff too. So with that, turn it over for any questions about the year or anything like that. Speechless. That's fine. All good, my guy.
I am, because I thought we should maybe still be playing.
Yeah.
But that's me.
Yeah, well, and I'll address that a little bit. I think if we won the game we wanted to win, we'd still be playing, okay? We had a couple things going on injury-wise at the end of the year that if you're playing in the NCAA tournament, you keep going. If you're not, then maybe you need to fix that stuff. So I also think that our program, it's moved a little bit. Like we wanted to win a game we didn't get to, and so that's part of it too. There's been a lot of investment for the future here, and so I think we're moving in a really good direction. I'll just leave it at that. I think we got big goals about where we're trying to go. I think the next step for us, we need to get in the WBIT or the NCAA tournament. That's kind of where our head's at as a program and what we're thinking about. So it was good. We got Eastern Kentucky. So Jacksonville won our league. We got Eastern Kentucky in the WBIT, which that's in women's basketball, NCAA tournament, WBIT. Those are the 2 NCAA-sponsored postseason tournaments. We have not had a team in each one of those as a league till this year. Eastern got into the WBIT, which we had higher numbers than them, but they were our outright winner of our league. They won it by 2 games. 24, they'll be a very good representation of our league. They host Utah at home in the WBIT. So, but overall, that's good for our league that we got, a team in each one of those tournaments. I think that's the next step for our league. Instead of just having one NCAA tournament team and nobody in that middle tournament, that's good for our league overall. So.
Well, and I might have said it wrong. I just disappointed from young ladies.
Yeah, I hear you. I think they're disappointed, but they're disappointed that they didn't bring home the trophy that they wanted to bring home. That's what I'll tell you. So
Are we gonna have more home games next year?
you can come help me get on the phone and see what we can figure out. Trying for sure. I mean, we try to schedule regionally. I mean, that's important. It's one thing about our travel schedule in the A-Sun, we played 9 road games, and we had to fly to 8 of the 9. We did not play Austin Peay. We did not play Lipscomb on the road. So we were flying all over the place last year. From a missed class perspective and stuff like that, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So, if you think about, take your bus ride and draw a little circle, and then we're trying to find teams in that circle that will play home and homes. And, it's, the list isn't super long, I will tell you that. So, we're trying. I hope so. We're in the United next year. Yep.
So my question is, what about them? Since we're
Yeah.
going to a different league, are they competing in the NCAA and the,
Actually, I don't know the answer to that.
okay.
We played we're going into a league with Abilene Christian. We played them last year in the WNIT. I think they are back in postseason play. I can't remember WBIT or WNIT, one of those two. What I can tell you is I think, we are, Eastern Kentucky comes with us.
Okay.
Austin Peay, who lost in the finals, comes with us. We go over there. I think it's a great women's basketball league. I think it's going to be very tough. I think that side of it, so I'll just call them the Texas side. I think they have been. I think that league has been a little bit more aggressive than ours in terms of investment and stuff like that. So we're making strides to get there. I think it's going to be a little bit bigger league. I think it's going to be a pretty good athletic league as well. So I'm excited about it. It's going to be a big challenge in terms of continuing to try to do the things we're trying to do.
Both women's and men's basketball, I was really pleased this year. I think we all are in this room, the crowd.
Yeah.
We had people really excited about the sport, turned out on a regular basis.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think I'll just speak for our program. I think it's been consistent, probably past maybe Christmas of year one. I think that we have a really good following. I think our team does a really good job of growing friends. Like if you watch us once, I think they connect well with our players. They know we're good people. And so I think that helps, but I totally agree. I mean, I went to the last men's home game against Queens, was it? I can't remember who it was. That was an unbelievable atmosphere. Unbelievable atmosphere. So, I think both groups are trying to grow it and continue to grow it. I think we have really good crossover fans that like both of them. That's all good with me. I think both groups are ambitious about where we're trying to go. So, we'll get in this new league and we'll sharpen our elbows and see what we can get done. Thank you.
Men's basketball. The Bears concluded their historic season in the finals of the A-Sun Championship, losing in overtime to Queens. Cam Hunter had an incredible 49 points in that game. The Bears ended the season with a 22-12 overall record and went 15-3 in A-Sun games. The only losses this season to A-Sun teams all came in overtime. The Bears won their first A-Sun regular season title, won 11 ASUN games in a row at one point and won 15 of their last 17 games. Here's head coach John Shulman to wrap up the season and look ahead.
I'm not standing back there.
Yep, that's what
All right. As Tony said, he's in a really healthy place today. I am not. I think Natalie just said, "Oh, Lord." Chris? Last night was very depressing for me. A lot of Tylenol PM so I could go to sleep. And I'm not talking about the NIT. I'm talking about at 5 o'clock. You know, it's weird. At 5 o'clock, I looked at Amy, I was like, we should be in the Fair Center right now with 5,000 people watching this. And then it went, doot, 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 tornado warning. And I was like, what maybe it was a blessing. Maybe like the tornado would have come through and got us. So thank God we didn't win. I'm happy. I am so happy we didn't win. We were this close, so I'm boycotting the NCAA tournament. I'm not watching it, and I'm not lying to you. I will have a hard time watching a game. I'll talk about the NIT in a second. 22 wins. We did win 15 of our last 17 games. We played 21 ASUN games. We went 17-4, and we lost 4 overtime games. Those are the only losses we had. As I told a buddy of ours last Monday, I was like, that's really good coaching. We lost every tight game. And he said, that's buzzard luck, whatever that meant. I don't know what that means. And that was John Calipari who said that, who called last Monday to congratulate us in Central Arkansas on the season. He didn't have to call, but he did. So we were really, like Pippen called last Monday, Calipari called last Monday, a lot of people called last Monday. I think we're on the map, but I'm heartbroken and proud at the same time. That's really hard. I'm not angry with the NIT. They got a great roster. We had our opportunity, and kind of like that light bulb goes off. Now we know what that opportunity looks like, and now we have to fix it. I thought in a lot of ways we overachieved, and I don't want to overachieve. I want to be the best team in the league, and to do that, we got work to do right now. This offseason is got to be important to us, and I know it will be. NIT, I think they made a mistake. I don't know, Matt, 4 or 5 years ago. Not rewarding the conference champion. I don't care what you're like. Like Morehead State had a great year in OVC. They're out. It's just not us, y'all. It's a lot of teams that devoted a lot of time and effort to win their league and didn't get rewarded. I love tournament basketball. Absolutely, it's March Madness. I love it. It's awesome. But it's really hard, when you put everything into that season and it comes down to 30 seconds to go. And if we'd have had timeout, I would have told Cam to let's go win it. Instead of putting it in overtime, we were kind of toast at that moment. But I did all the numbers. I mean, they take 7 different metrics and get the KNIT number. So I spent a lot of time trying to find those. Our WAB is unbelievable. We were 126 with our WAB. Cody, what does WAB mean? That's wins against the bubble. I don't even know what that means. But we're 126 on there. Listen, we were about at the 150 range. Last year, y'all, every time I checked the Ken Palm rankings, we were at 347 to 353. We were on the last page. And on my phone, I'd check on the last page, and I was like, I am so tired of being on the last page. Could we move up to 323, please, so we're not on that last page? Well, we went all the way to above 150. So we're about 150, and that wasn't good enough. So be it. you know, as Matt says yesterday, it puts fuel on the fire and it fuels us for next year. Let me explain this. I will tell you this about the two really attractive gentlemen sitting back there. Not talking about you, Tyner. Coaches.
Don't hurt his feelings like that.
It's not.
He's my quarterback.
That was a long time ago. Coaches win games, administrations win championships. And they say it. And our administration is just stepped up to the plate with all of us opting in and doing some really neat things. I think we're ready now to move forward. We're ready. The lifetime contract that they gave me was Did I read that wrong? Fine print. I was hoping to slip that thing through. But with their backing, I think all of us are really good shape, and they don't get, you know, they don't get the applause and they get the credit. But you all, thank you, Dr. Davis, and thank you, Matt, and for what you all, not for me, but for all of our programs moving forward. Now we can compete for it. Dr. Fiddler, you want credit all the time. No, I'm just kidding with you. No, but we appreciate the board. We appreciate everything moving forward. Let me explain to you about UCA. There's not a game that really goes by where I don't hear from Nick, from Kayla, from Nathan. I walked out there on the court, getting ready to play the championship game, and I see this long-haired gentleman and his wife, and it's Josie. Did they drive?
All night.
They drove down. That makes me want to cry. They drove all night down to support us down there. Listen, you talk about uncommon. That's uncommon. And for them to, like, this just always felt right, and it still feels right. And we haven't done what we came here to do. The program is in better shape. I understand that. But we came here to cut down those nets down in Jacksonville, so I guess we'll just do it in Dallas instead. We got work to do. It just doesn't come easy. It doesn't just, we got a lot of work to do. Speaking of that, I went to Little Rock, no, not Little Rock, Hot Springs on Saturday night to watch state tournament. CB, which he's got Cam's blood in him, good God. He won his second straight state championship. He was MVP of the state championship. He was player of the year in the state. He was kind of everywhere. So CB's coming here and had a really neat end of his career. Future is bright. We will, listen, it's a crazy world out there. You'll see this guy's going in the portal and that guy's going in the portal, and don't worry, we're on top of everything. It's just a little crazy out there. I love what we've got coming back so far. If we had all the guys, we hadn't even met yet, but we'd be the best 3-on-3 team in the country. We got 3 guys that come. No, I'm just kidding. But we'll start our meetings. We were hoping to be playing right now, so we did not meet with our guys last week. So we'll start our meetings this week. I will leave you with one memory. It's my favorite memory, maybe of my career. Is we beat Queens in the last Saturday of the regular season. Beat Queens. Emotional day, senior day. You know, y'all, Cam was out there just really calm, cool, and collective out there, crying his eyes out. And we beat Queens. We know Bellarmine's got to beat Austin Peay for us to win it. And I go in the locker room and talk to the guys real quick. We start watching the game. I go back in the locker room and I can't find the guys. Like, where is everybody? and they had walked on the court, watching the game on the court, along with everybody who had stayed. And when you got fans and players in the middle of each other watching the game together, that's cool. That's uncommon. That is different. And that will be a memory that I will have forever and ever, watching that with tears in our eyes, watching that. And Amy went, I didn't know y'all gonna cut down the nets. I said, neither did we. We didn't know either. And it just kind of happened, and it was sweet, and it was nice. And we got a lot of work to do. But we know we can get there now. We got 9 teams in our league, UAC. We got 9 teams in our league. That'll be different tournament format. I do want to meet with our people. Hopefully I got more of a say-so now. I would like to completely change the tournament format. I think the number 1 and 2 seeds, not saying that we're going to be the number 1 and 2 seed, but I think they need to be protected more. I think 31 leagues, I think 17 number 1 seeds were beaten in conference tournament. 17 out of 31. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to do it. It's hard to do it the whole year. That's why you got to be protected at the end of it. But future's bright. We're excited. We're very determined. This is not rest on your laurels time and go out and hang out. This is, you got a taste of it and you want it so flippin' bad, is that we go back to work, and we've already been back to work. So that's kind of where our mentality is. We are not pleased whatsoever. It's really cool what we did, but we didn't do what we came here to do. We will get a chance to hang a banner. I will let you know about Cam Hunter with one thing. I want y'all to know, Cam, I told him to score 50. He only had 49. He's a loser of a kid. If you're in that last locker room scene, Cam walked to every single player, and had a moment with every single player. Just a different dude. I don't know what his future is at this moment, but I would just say this. We needed him to stabilize the program. I think he did an average job of stabilizing the program. He didn't stabilize it. He took us there. And so, but the nice thing is you got to be there to go back. You got to know what it's like. So he helped us go there. Like Ty Robinson's ready to take those reins and run with it. A lot of kids are ready to take those reins and run with it. I wouldn't mind if Cam wanted to come back and take those reins and finish the job. I mean, what a loser. He didn't finish the job. But listen, that's where we are. That's where our mentality is. Any thoughts, any questions, anything? Gene?
You answered the question about the banner.
Oh, we'll be hanging a banner. But I don't want, it's got, we're getting out of the ASUN. I would say we don't need to have a big banner. We need to have multiple years getting ready to happen on those banners. Like, this was not a one-year thing. That was not a fluke. We are here to build and do something really cool. Anything else? Yes, sir?
When are you going to know about Hunter?
When I know, you'll know. How about that? So I don't know. I don't know. NCAA takes, who knows? Whatever they're kind of on their time, and it's a process. But you just don't know. You just don't know. So, but when we know, we'll let everybody know and keep everybody informed. Anything else? I am done. Y'all be good.
How is everybody doing? Good. It is great to see everyone. Appreciate you being here for Bearbackers and our last Bearbackers of the year. But E-Rod, I know, man. I know. I'm with you there. But we'll be picking it back up again next year. So, a couple things. Wanted to highlight Day of Giving last week. University total was $1,204,379. Total donors was 3,115. Athletics total was 262,264. So just big thank you to our donors, to our staff. and everyone involved for their support of that. So appreciate everyone's support there. Sorry, I'm kind of getting choked up. I wanted to share some news related to Gunnar Boykin, one of our assistant football coaches. Many of you know in this room that his wife has been battling some health issues since October of this past year, and unfortunately she passed away on Friday. So if you will, again, I apologize, but you know, people in this room, this university, they're special on our staff and just mean so much to us. And just know that please be praying for them in the days ahead. So appreciate your thoughts and prayers towards them. One last thing, football schedule update. Feel like we're very close with our football schedule, and we'll get that out just as soon as we possibly can. I know that, Paul, I know, want to know. I'll tell you this, I feel good about where we stand with our home slate and possibility that improves a little bit. So working through that, just as soon as we have that done, we'll definitely get that out, and we'll also get football season ticket renewal started at that time. So I anticipate probably early to mid-April when we'll really be able to finalize that and put the final official schedule out for that. So I know that's about as clear as mud and about all I can share related to that right now, but I feel like we're in a good spot. We've got a lot of good things going there, and should have that wrapped up very soon. So just appreciate your patience on that. What about any questions of me? Gino?
Day of giving. I'm going to use football as an example. Football championship resources versus football. What's the difference? Because you can give to both.
That's right.
And I think it's like that for every sport.
That's right. No, that's a great question, Gene. So, all right, put my fundraising hat on here. So when we talk about fundraising for athletics, we really are looking at three main areas that are impactful to us. One, Purple Circle. That's our annual fund that we provide benefits to members that go to support all 18 of our programs, okay? So then our sports have an operational account, which somebody can give to that to support the individual operational needs of their program. For instance, softball, you mentioned football, baseball, men's and women's basketball. All of our sports have an operational foundation account that goes to support the operational needs of that program. Our championship resources is that third bucket, okay? Well, as we opt into the House settlement revenue sharing, our championship resources are going to be another layer of support that helps us fund our revenue share opportunities that we're going into this new era, okay? So we focus championship resources. When you say championship resources, it's focused on talent acquisition and retention as we go into this new era. So does that answer your question, Gene?
Absolutely.
Good deal. About anything else? Bobby?
I want y'all to know Woody's not here today. He finally decided to have that basketball removed.
Well, I'll be thinking about Woody.
We've been missing it. If he can come bring it back to us.
What about any other questions? Ms. Penny, you asked about UAC. Nine schools. We'll be in the UAC in all sports except for men's soccer and beach volleyball starting July of 26. So excited about that. All right, well, let's have a good week. Go Bears, go!